So if I go net user gremlin, we can see there's no user called gremlin. So let's go and create ourselves. Obviously, this is all going local on my machine and everything, but this is actually a remote attack. This is as if I was connected, remotely to an Oracle server. So I'm going to go back down here. Net user gremlin password /add. See if this works. So we've now created an operating system user by exploiting this flaw. So coming from 0 privileges other than create session, we now can obviously add this to the local administrators group. Net local group administrators gremlin /add. And we can see now he's an administrator, gremlin's an administrator. So we've just created an operating system account and made him a local administrator. So you can see it's not very good. Right, what am I looking for? There we go. So suffice it to say that I can run arbitrary OS commands using this. I can obviously do exactly the same thing to create files, delete files, and so on. But I'm not going to waste time doing that because there's much more exciting things to do. Okay. Again, hacking around the whole Aurora place. Great, we own the operating system and everything like that, but as far as the database server is concerned, we still only have create session privileges. Yeah, we're still that lowly little user. What we want is to gain sys privileges or DBA privileges. So here's how you do that. This dbmesh Java package, the one that had the run Java function on it, has a procedure called set output to Java. Now, what this does basically is any output from to system.error and so on, we can redirect that output to either another Java session, to SQL, or whatever. Now, if we set the output to another Java session, what happens is the Oracle database server kicks off another Java session with a new session state and so on, but it does so with the privileges of the sys user, and because sys owns this dbmesh Java package. So when this VM executes, it's owned by sys. So anything that happens in that new VM session basically executes with sys privileges. And as part of the specification for set output to Java, it can take arbitrary SQL to execute either before or after the new VM receives the output. So what we can do basically is inject well, it's not really inject because we're not inserting anything into extant code. What we're doing is just supplying lock, stock, and barrel full SQL to execute. So let's do this. Oh, and that SQL will, of course, execute with sys privileges. So just connect as gremlin. What I'm doing there basically is, because we want to see output and stuff like that, it's part of the hack, we need to set the output. So we then, again, no roles awarded to us, and there are no privileges other than the create session. That's all about to change. So what I'm about to do here is this is the set output to Java function we're about to execute. This is irrelevant, really. We just need some class to execute. And here is the arbitrary SQL we're executing. Declare pragma autonomous transaction. That's a way of tricking the PL SQL compiler into doing stuff it shouldn't be doing because it's transaction-based. What we're saying is, it's okay to do this stuff because there aren't any transactions, but wink, wink, nudge, nudge, there actually are, but don't worry about it. It's all safe and everything like that. And what we're actually going to do is grant DBA privileges to Gremlin. So hit enter. So that's us primed now. This is all ready and waiting. As soon as the new Java session gets some output, it will execute that SQL. So what we need to do now is cause some output from Java to be written. We do that using any number of methods. The one I'm using here is executing dbms cdc isubscribe, executing the internal purge window procedure. As I said, it can be anything, but by doing this, an error is going to be kicked off, and that error will write Java output, and that output will kick off the SQL in our other Java virtual session that's sat waiting, basically. So hitting that, there's our error, as expected. And now, if we go set role, DBA, we're now DBA, and if we do select star from session privileges, privileges, select star from session privileges. What am I doing wrong? Oh, session privs, sorry, that's why. So you can see now we've got all the privileges under the sun, basically. So from lowly gremlin user who only had create session, they now have complete control over the S, they now have complete control over the database server as well, because they can do anything they want. What does that practically mean to government guys? I'm sure a lot of you are probably using things like Oracle label security. So I'll show you how we can do some neat hacks to defeat Oracle label security. So what we could do is use that SQL injection flaw. Well, technically it's not really a SQL injection flaw. It's just dumb. That's what it is. It's a dumb flaw. Really, you'll see in the slides later, it's like when people sat down and were thinking about programming this, which idiot thought of it? Which plonker actually turned around and said, hey, this is a good idea, let's do this, execute this as sys. You know, it's crazy. But we'll get back to that. So yeah, bypassing Oracle label security. Oracle label security basically is Oracle's super way of basically managing you know, information at different levels of security. So for example, confidential, secret, top secret, and so on. Mandatory access control, basically. This has been evaluated to EAL4 under the common criteria. And there are, amongst other ways of bypassing it that I'm showing you here, there are other interesting things. Actually, let's talk about that. It's not actually my slides, but this is from CDEOLSDIR. And this is the security target, I think. Yep. Tow summary, protection profile claims. Actually, here's it in that one, drstar.pdf. This is the evaluated configuration, that's right. Oh! Display drivers stopped responding, but we're still good. Right, excellent. Profile A, script listing. There's a couple, for a product which has been evaluated to EAL4, there's some worrying things in here, like the security functions that enable, you know, assist as part of the, you know, the target of evaluation have flaws in it. You know, it's like there's a second order SQL injection flaw. They create a user with a default password and don't do anything about it later on. And so people who have actually followed the evaluated configuration are at risk because of the configuration, you know? Sorry, give us 2 secs. Actually, I'll find that at the end because we're interrupted.